fun furry friends. Welcome back. Thanks for coming to see us today. Well, awkward and weird, but hello. So, the winner of our How Old Is He is down in the comments. So congratulations. Congratulations on winning 2 gift cards. Told y'all me and Sarah would figure out what it was. So, you got 2 gift cards coming to you, boo. Today, we are going to be talking about a couple of stories that will bring in a person that we will introduce next week, by the way. But we're going to talk about a couple of stories that, built my relationship with this person. In this nice little 31 chapter book of B. We're gonna talk about this person and see some of the stories that they are a big part of. So take the journey with me. Sit back, relax. Let's talk about it. So story time. When I was in like the 2nd grade, right? Somebody's mom was like pregnant or something. And they were like, yeah, I'm gonna get a baby brother and baby sister. And I was like, cool, when? And they're like, the store's supposed to bring them. And they said sometime. And I was like, Stuart, bring that back. Right? And it's something in my 2000s brain. So I was like 8. Something in my 2nd grade brain was like, the stork? That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a bird, big ass bird. Ain't nobody seen. There's babies born every day. Mind you, also at this point, caveat takes back to a little bit of time. I've seen my cousins be pregnant before,
right?
And know that they came home from hospital with a baby.
Right.
So you ain't go to the hospital for a stork. Did the stork pop out of you? Like something's not making a lot of sense, right?
So is a stork called for something?
It wasn't making sense. So I was like, I don't think so. So I went home. Like I said, they had to say, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. I went home. This happened to be a Friday. I went home to my parents and I was like, hey. My parents was like, okay, that's good, little sweets. Mind you, this is before my parents, this is like right when my parents like kind of announced they divorced to me. So we're already in like a precarious situation.
Yes.
As a whole. No, this is right before that. This is right before. I lied, that's right before that. So I think they ended up telling me like a couple months later. But yeah, so I was like, hey, little Susie, it's not her name, wasn't Susie, but little Susie told me that she got a brother coming and the stork brings him. And my mom was like, okay. Like you can hear the confusion and the, oh shit, what the fuck? In her
What's
mouth.
about to happen?
You can hear it. And I was like, but babies come from a hospital. And she said, yes. And I said, okay, but then how is it? Then I turned to my dad and said, Daddy. He said, I said, where do babies come from? My parents.
You don't traumatize your dad.
Hindsight 2020. Horrible thing to ask a dad. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend asking your father where babies come from. So then my parents did this like weird. Well, it's kind of let's talk about it later, man. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay. Unbeknownst to me, they then like rush to my grandma and be like, what do we do? What's happening? Because she's asking us questions we don't want to answer. We don't know how to answer for her. She's like 8. She's like 7, not even 8 yet. Like, yeah. He's like, what the fuck is happening? And my grandma was like, well, you can either tell the truth or you can make up something. Grandma was like, but we all know. We ask a lot of questions. And she don't like lies. So my parents went online and looked up this book, right? And it was like this anatomy book. And they looked it up and they found out it was at the Washington Memorial Library. I'll never forget, we came down to this library. And they looked up this book and you're like, okay, it's at the library. We're gonna take it to the library. So that's what they did. They got up, they took it to the library. Unbeknownst to me, they did not check to make sure it was actually active in the library.
Right.
So they're like driving to the library, stressing. And as a parent now, I feel that stress. Like, as soon as my mom told me about it, I was like, ooh, I know that. That's pain. So they're like driving to the library. We get to the library, we go upstairs, take action book. And this was like my first time on the 2nd floor, because like as you're a kid, you go like straight to the 3rd floor and just like move on to the cool stuff. Right? So we go up there to the second floor and they sit me at one of those big ass tables and they're like, so, you know, when mommies and daddies love each other a whole lot. And my dad goes, and after you're married, not one. Thank you. And they just go into this like thing about where babies come from and opened the book and like showed me pictures and it was like a penis, a vagina, a uterus, a vaginal wall, and like a scrotum and testes and like they go through like all the things and then like ask me, do I have any questions? And stupidly, my first question was, so that's how I got here? And they were like, yeah. And then a couple days later, like the next day, visuals started to hit my brain. Because like, again, I'm a visual person. So then I started thinking about it at home and I was just like, and it just like smacked me out of nowhere. But then the most traumatizing thing is that I went to Progressive and then traumatized somebody else's child. Because they told me that I was lying and I was like, no, I'm not. And I said, I know where babies come from. And then proceeded to tell a bunch of 8-year-olds where babies come from.
Oh my God, dude. I know your teacher was mad at you.
She wasn't. You know who was mad? Them parents.
Oh, well, that too. Yes.
Pissed.
Progressive was, yep, that's true. It was a very Christian school.
Was pissed. And I don't even think they were pissed because it was a Christian school. I think they were pissed they didn't get to tell their own kid where.
It's just like, why? It's such a traumatizing conversation for parents to have.
But I feel like I helped a whole lot of parents because now you didn't really have to explain it for real.
Yeah, because
now
of the 8-year-old.
Now all you're doing is answering questions that an 8-year-old told you did. That ended up being correct. So they couldn't get mad at me and I couldn't get in trouble because what I said was not a lie.
Well, that's...
It was quite literally the truth. Like, science fictionally the truth. Not science fiction. Scientifically the proof. The truth. And it was just like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, the episodes that I wanted to do for this and all that type of stuff. And I was going through some of those feelings. And I'm like,
yeah.
That's wild.
I'm nervous and excited for you to talk about the stuff that you want to talk about because it's like, it's going to bring up those emotions.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, I'm nervous because it's going to bring up those emotions, but I'm excited because it's going to be real. Like, I don't know how much time you've had to like talk through this stuff, like with anybody besides him or like your friends or anything like that. And so, and there you go. Like it's like,
I want to say, what year was it? I want to say it was March last year. It was a year ago.
Oh wow.
Like a year and a month ago. A year and some weeks ago. He had been talking to his girl, who now I know is his girlfriend, on the phone. And he came to, he was talking some bullshit, texted me while he was talking to her. And came into the room and while we were texting, I was like, he was like, let's have a real conversation, like real, like, you be honest with me, I'll be honest with you conversation. I don't think you want that, but you know,
we'll try it.
I'm here to do whatever, bro. Like, I'm here. So he came in there, and for like an hour, we just talked about everything that had happened. I talked about some of the stuff, and I was like, bro, and I looked out some facts. Like, I was like, no, bro, like factually, not even my feelings, by facts, I love you. By the definition of love, I loved you. And he could, like, every time he would try to come to me about something, I didn't like that you did this, I didn't like that you did that. And I'm just like, okay, think about what you just said. Like, at one point he was like, I didn't like how you weren't as ambitious and you weren't going for things as much anymore. And I'm like, how can I do that when you didn't give me the space to? What? No, really. Your job consistently changed schedules. So somebody has to have a job that is flexible. Even if it's not a job that I think I'm making the money that I should be making at. Even if it's not a job that I'm comfortable in anymore. Even if I want to go and pursue my dreams, we still have these real things called children that regardless need a parent in the house. And you're not taking the sacrifice to say, let me sit in my position for a year or two and let my girl go get her degree like you said you would. So I can't go back to school and get my degree because who's going to take care of our kids? I can't go back and try to do a different job because I still have to be flexible because we're gonna take care of our kids. I can't do all these things that I do want to do because if I do them, who's taking care of our kids? Because you don't like us to go to my family. You feel uncomfortable asking them to do anything. I have to ask them to do everything, even though they openly say if you wanna go do something, just come in, it's fine, we'll watch the kids. I can't succeed. You won't let me. You won't open the door for me. But you want to be mad that I'm not doing it? You're the catalyst of that. I can't do something if it's not allowed of me. Well, you didn't try to get a different job. How? How could I? I would love to make 60, 70, 80K a year. I can't. Wanna know why? Because we got these little things that can't nobody watch for real. Because you don't want to ask our families. Your family's not here. Would love to spend time, would love to get to know them, but you won't open the door for them to happen. So, when can I? Let's keep it a beam. When can I? When you didn't do sexy things for me and you weren't as loving with me, I said because you laughed at me when I would try. Who wants to be in a vulnerable state when they're doing something that's already uncomfortable and then you laugh at them? But you want me to feel sexy for you? What? Like, it would be, I was like, number one thing that hurt me outside of the me situation and one more thing, my grandma, it was my first year my grandma had passed, right? And this is October 2022. We broke up 3 months before that. I just moved back into the house because of everything my mom was going through, which, that's a story. But it's the day of my grandma's birthday. And I am feeling shit. This is the first time I can't go to the house and say, happy birthday. Or I can't run, to the store and get a card or something. Like now for the rest of my life I have to go.
I see it coming.
I have to go to a cemetery to say happy birthday. Now and happy Mother's Day and Merry Christmas. And let you know what's happening in my life. I can't just go to our house. I can't do that anymore. So I text him and I'm just like, hey, if I ask you to give me a hug right now, if I just ask you for a hug right now, what would you say? Literally his next text was, man, fuck all that. I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, honestly, if it ain't about the bills, like, this is how it's gonna go. You gonna pay half of the bills, we 50-50 regardless. Like, man, fuck all that shit. Alright, bro. Okay.
Did he know what day it was?
He said he didn't. But in the same light, I don't ask to be touched. I don't ask nobody to hug me for real. I love my children. I don't ask them to touch me. Like, I don't ask something I made to touch me. So if it's a thing, like I don't normally do that. And if you loved me so much, I was such a great friend, I was your best friend, you would know that. You knew my grandma's birthday was sometime in October. You knew that. Because just a year prior, when she had turned 80, I'm begging you to come to the birthday party. Begging, not asking, begging you to come. I'm walking around a 3-month-old newborn wrapped in a baby wrap, begging you to come, just so you can say hey to my grandma. Like, my grandma's turning 80, this is a milestone. And I'm begging you to come and be in a part of the environment with me. And you're just like, no, not doing it. And then a year later, I'm like, yo, I just need a hug. I just need something to tether me to it's gonna be okay. And the first thing I jumped out was, man, fuck all that, fuck that, man, no, fuck that shit. You gonna do this, and I was like, blah. So I told him that night, he was like, yeah, I had no idea, I didn't know. I was like, but that just proves my point, you never paid attention. You didn't care. Like, bro, you stopped loving me, you stopped liking me a long time ago. That's just the facts. Like, fuck love. Love ain't got shit to do with it. Love ain't nothing but heartbreak and simple emotions. You didn't like me. Like that's what this all boils down to. You didn't like me no more. You didn't respect me no more. You didn't love me no more. But you played with me until you had what you did. And you did. When you got to a place where I put you, you did. Oh, you didn't put me the lead. Yes, I did. You went from flipping burgers at Carl's Jr. to being a first assistant manager of a gas station chain, where you make $70,000, $80,000. You barely was making 25 when I met you. With my sacrifice, my love, my prayers, my X, Y, and Z put you where you are. Now, granted, am I saying you didn't work hard? No, I would never say that. I'll never take away your hard work. But God knows I made the soil good enough for you to plant it. And I tended to it when you planted it. So like, let the record reflect my G and on out your mouth. Cause I went and saw something on Facebook. It was a memory that popped up from me and him, and he had put, "I love you, B. You're making me an even better man without even having to say anything. It's just the way you love me and all the sacrifices you make for our family. I'm so blessed to have you." I didn't actually say that shit. I didn't know you was saying this shit. On top of that, when we was trying to buy a house, I was like, "No, keep it in your name, cause it's yours. You did this." You turned around and said, "Nah, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And this is just as much as yours as it is mine, and all your sacrifices and all your." You did that. I didn't say that. But then when I say this is mine too, man, no, I did this. You sure? So I mean, stuff happens.
Yeah.
But you get better for it. You move through it. And you build paid people. Speaking of paid people, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what a paid person is. We're going to talk about how we build a paid person. And some of those stories that we were just talking about, my beautiful producer Sarah and I, those are some of the things that encompass building your paid person. Now, what I would suggest doing, because next week we're going to talk about this some more, we're going to talk about how we build this paid person. I would suggest you get a name together. Not a name you hate, but not a name you're in love with either. Like a nice little common neutral name. So like a Susie or Johnny. I mean, my paid person's name is specific to me, but you can have a nice little common one for you. We're gonna talk about how to build it. We're gonna talk about all the things that encompass it, because at least two of those stories that I just talked about are how two of my paid people, well, one of my paid persons have been built. It's just two little aspects of that there girl there. And I chose to make mine a girl. You can choose to make yours a man, a woman, a child, a hippopotamus. I don't know. It's up to you. Really, it's all you. But yeah, we're gonna talk about exactly how to build a paid person, and specifically what that is next week.